like normal, guys. This is like right on schedule.
Like an hour. Well, Aaron, it took an hour for Pro Cup to set up, and you're already rushing the fucking thing. All right, are we going? Are we going? Aaron, sit down. Let's go.
We're going. I got audio going.
Dude, it's been a long day of content for Aaron. I'm gonna be honest with you. He hit a few balls into the water when we were golfing, and I'm like, I said it on video. I'm like, if he hits another one in the water before we get to the 9th hole, I'm like, he's gonna get discouraged and stop recording shit, and it's gonna ruin everything. But he actually stayed encouraged the whole time, which was great. So golf content is coming in.
Give us the intro, dude.
The intro. Well, fuck you, Craig, and welcome back to the 88th rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron.
This is actually 89 because we recorded one on Saturday, Coop, that I just released.
You released that one?
I just released it today.
Okay, well, I released a quick chat today.
We got a lot of content out today.
Well, we have Rob's, too. We have Big Bucks, too.
Oh, my God.
That was supposed to come out today.
That was supposed to come out today.
A lot of content coming down. So,
I like this thing.
A video podcast came out today.
A video.
Oh wait, hold on. So Rob would be 89. So this is 90.
What are we doing for the 100th, by the way?
That's in 10 weeks. So what's 10 weeks from today?
What's in 10 weeks?
Who's got the closest phone?
10 weeks.
I can count
from
it.
Today.
I don't have Wi-Fi on this.
You don't need Wi-Fi for your calendar.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try it on this.
No, don't. Yeah, you don't fuck it.
Why doesn't it show it like a normal calendar? How do you do that? Okay, cool.
Every time Joey touches on the new iPhone, he's just 5, like, this shit fucking stinks.
7, 8,
it's like, it's the worst
10.
iPhone
It's around.
We're
at the wedding. So we might have to
live
save it.
from
There might be a
live
gap.
from Deli Boy's wedding. We might do a podcast.
It could be Portland. That might be around the time.
We could do Portland too. We should do it live from Portland. We should do.
We might have a lot of special guests on that Portland one, though.
We all gotta drive up there at that point.
Well, dude, at the end of the day, if IOC doesn't want to be on the Portland one, then he's not coming to Portland. Simple as that.
I can show you guys how to do this, or you can just.
No, you gotta come to Portland.
If everyone has an iPhone,
come to Portland. Why wouldn't you come to Portland?
Just come to Portland.
Because I might be. What weekend is this, guys?
We haven't planned it yet. We haven't planned it.
Later October, mid-October.
Okay.
Maybe early October even.
Okay, October is not planned.
Wait, 10 weeks? That's early October.
Well, I mean, it's my birthday early October.
First 2 weeks of October.
If we want to record it early and then like do
so mid-October.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. 100 episodes. Who would have thought? And people always. People would always. People always question where the first 24 episodes are. And the answer is SoundCloud. We did them, and that's all you need to know. They're gone. So if you can't tell, we're recording not from our normal location. We're actually on my parents' back porch. Shout out to my parents. They're in bed probably. But shout out to my parents. We were supposed to record at Aaron's house at his pool. And it was going to be great because we would have been able to say, like, oh, it's okay that Aaron has a pool because he has the victim card. So you kind of do like an Uno reverse. So you couldn't hold that shit against us.
You couldn't hold it against me right now. There's no privilege there.
You know what's going to be incredibly loud is these fucking cicadas. You're going to be able to hear the cicadas the whole podcast.
Not in
these mics. There's a reason we have to kiss them. There's a reason we have to kiss them.
I am going to get a little irritated.
Was that synchronized?
What happened?
We both kissed at the same time.
I'm going to set that up so there's stereo so the listeners get kissed in both ears.
Do an ASMR, please.
There's so many bugs on my laptop right now that I'm looking at.
So, guys, I want to start off a little hot.
Okay.
New Balkan War just dropped.
Oh.
I mean, basically.
What are we saying?
Thoughts? I think Kosovo wins.
I think
what is happening? So it's Kosovo versus Serbia?
Yeah.
Well, it's also already in Serbia, so it's more of a civil war.
Yeah, but they're all not Serbian.
This might be an ignorant question for me to ask because I'm not really up to date with all the Balkan stuff.
How could you be?
Why do they not like each other?
The Turks.
The Turks?
No, it's got to be more than the Turks.
I'm going to blame the Turkish.
I heard the Greeks had something to do with it.
No, it was the Turkish.
I think it's from both sides. I think it's like they all got kind of messed up from that whole thing.
Yeah, the Ottoman Empire really pinned them against each other.
But my question is at some point now, if you stood an Albanian and a Serbian right in front of me, I don't think I could tell the difference between the two.
Hey, let's pull up the KGB.
Yeah, that is true. We could do the KGB.
We'll add that in
in
the edit. But it's just funny because, like you said, Coop, I just love any time we get called racist in America, and then they literally have
it's like
people.
The equivalent of Rhode Island and Connecticut.
They literally have people who look exactly the same, have the same, and they'll genocide each other over it. And then they have the audacity.
They're probably related,
to
like
fucking
directly
tell us
related.
so. I mean, this country is racist. Let's put that up.
Who shared that? You guys shared that TikTok
Like
where
Serbian racist?
Serbians?
you shared that TikTok
We're not Eastern
where
European racists.
Not yet.
That's a
No, I'm just
different
kidding. I'm
kind.
just kidding.
someone shared the TikTok in the group chat where it was like this
My
black
dad said
girl went
Warwick,
to.
by the way, broke up.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
Warwick is a shithole, in case you're curious. Warwick, Rhode Island.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
That's a call out
it's
for
where
you.
you want to go if you want to be by the sea and alcohol, like the most amount of alcohol possible.
And who doesn't?
Dude, Rhode Island is...
Hey, Prokop, can you double check if I'm recording?
Because Aaron's fucking with his mic.
No, I wasn't. I was just making.
Go like. Brrr. You're all good.
All right, we're just making sure. I want to do a quick check before, you know.
I'm telling you one thing. If this...
I don't think this is gonna work.
If we don't
personally.
get the audio from this podcast, I swear to God,
I
this
don't
might
think
be
it's
it.
gonna work. We've tried this how many
If
times?
this
Well, this is the
doesn't
second
work,
time.
if
Dude,
this-
No, it's not the second. We
Is
went to
this
Longhouse.
recorded?
We did at your
Well, that
house.
was...
Yeah.
No, when did we do it at my house?
It's recording.
Oh, in Dorchester?
Yeah.
The one in Dorchester worked. That was a Capucci episode.
So here's
Did
what.
it get
Let
released?
me
Yeah,
explain.
Capucci. Yeah, it did. And Capucci's book is out, by the way. Go
I
check
bought
out
it.
Capucci's book.
It's
Oh,
still coming.
that one was fine. That one was fine. The
Yeah,
one
that
we
w-
did at Longhouse.
That was
What
a
I did
disaster
was
class.
I tried to do everything on one computer, and I should have done the audio on
It's
another
just
thing.
the Macs can't handle it.
No,
I
yeah,
guess
that's
not.
the-
I'm honestly a little worried about my Mac capturing this whole podcast on it. But
plugged in.
if
You
we
have
lose
space?
it,
That's the
no,
big-
that's
if you
the
guys
thing. I don't know
lose
if I
it,
can-
I'll put
I
up-
have some Fortnite
well,
clips.
at the
I
end of
could
the
put
day, dude,
over
we
it.
can use as
Oh,
much
you-
of the visual as
Joe,
we possibly
we should.
can.
I have like a.
How close?
We should put your camera there or something.
I don't
and
have
my
it. Do
camera
you mean my
there.
phone?
Yeah,
Camera?
your
No,
phone.
no, dude.
because
Let's
you
just
got
see.
that
It looks
iPhone
like it's recording
13, right?
still.
I think
no,
13
I'm just
Pro.
saying.
It's for the
like,
angles.
It's
It's more
got
angles.
13
Like, you
cameras
can look
on it.
at like Prokop
Dude,
when
I'm gonna
he's
be
talking.
real.
and
Those
then
golf
yeah.
clips. Once we edit those
So
up,
yeah,
I think those golf clips. are
iPhone
legit.
13. It's using the telescope, the James Webb technology.
The James Webb.
It's already back to the consumer. It's
The
here.
James Webb. I'm a little
That's what
disappointed
happens
still,
when
but
you
we don't need
invest
to talk
in
about
Apple.
The JSW,
it. JWS.
JWS.
Dude, if these nerds.
Nerds.
Don't
Here's
shut
the thing.
They already put it on your
Nerds
iPhone.
aren't allowed to like use acronyms. It should be illegal
Yeah,
because we don't know what you're talking about. Don't say it. This isn't texting lingo.
Can I be honest with
This
you?
isn't LOL.
Can I be
Aaron,
honest with
nerds
you,
came
Aaron?
up with DMT and like MDMA and
So nothing good.
NASA.
Yeah,
they're
what
just
you're
doing
saying is
the
they've
country.
added. They've
Acronyms
just
in general
destroyed us.
should not be allowed at the workplace. Because if you miss one meeting, you miss an acronym that they use for fucking months.
No, you
Yeah,
gotta
literally.
use acronyms.
What's the shit at our work? They call it RDMA.
I
Yeah.
use 90%
Let's not plug our work
acronyms.
stuff.
But like, I don't think anybody knows what that means.
No, I know. But
Is
I'm
it a
saying
s-
like, let's
is it
not
a-
connect it even remotely possible.
Yeah, we'll
to
cut
us with
that.
it. Maybe we can cut it. Maybe we
You
don't.
brought it. You brought up your job on
I didn't bring up any of my job. What did I bring up?
what
You've
you
said
do.
the
What your
name.
job entails.
On your on the episode.
No,
with
you've
you,
definitely
yeah.
said the name,
It's just
too.
what it.
No, I never said the name. I've
No.
never said the
All
name.
right, so
don't know.
company. All right, any
Well-
topics?
So can we go back to what we were just reading before we started? Because that was content. So apparently, what was the Reddit thread that you found, Aaron?
All right, so I'll just set the stage. I'm like always really curious about drugs, but I'm not really into trying them. So like go on Reddit, as normal people do, to read about drugs. And I was just
Cross-eyed
reading
looking
about
at
like
this
the craziest drugs, and you see people talking about the stuff you've heard of. I've happened to stumble across a subreddit called Research Chemicals. And I think some of you guys probably recognize RCs. Usually I think it's related to like
Who do you
acid.
think listens to this?
You're right. That's what I'm getting at.
If you were in
point
the
being-
fraternity we're in,
Yeah,
I'm sure
the
you
point
would
being
know
is
what
that
we're talking about.
RCs go way beyond.
My thing
you
is like,
could
why are
even
these guys?
imagine.
I get
It goes way
so
beyond the
it
bunk
is-
LSD.
It
that
is
you
not
bought
just
off
not
the street.
LSD, it's RC. It is.
Do you guys think it's like so? You guys were saying that a lot of these people are pharmacists and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Do you
so
think that's
I
who the
found-
predominant amount of people are?
Yeah,
There's a thread that said what jobs. I think we need to set the stage a little more, but these people are talking
Okay,
about.
wait, yeah, well, I can set it.
Yeah.
So these people basically, for some ungodly reason,
Oh, you just
Don't show them on me as we don't sponsor them.
want they want to get the
Although I
same
do
high.
like this pizza right
Give
now.
us money,
as-
please.
Not legal drug, like standard drugs. What would the word be?
Street drugs.
No, like
Basic,
drugs?
basic,
like
drugs?
basic drugs,
Yeah, yeah.
basic.
Yeah.
They want to get the same high, so they want to trip like it's acid. They want opiates. They want benzos. They want stimulants. But for
Wouldn't say
some reason,
benzos,
they
sorry.
prefer ordering these drugs on the dark net from China in unknown quantities. Drugs that have not been tested by the human body yet, and then shoving it up their asses. I promise you, that's what these people do.
A lot of them are suppositories. You think?
A lot of them are. The subreddit mentions that a lot.
I bet
I'm
they
gonna
try
be honest
both.
with you. Imagine going into a demon trip with something you shove up your ass. That just doesn't seem
And
like
it's
a vibe.
just, and it's funny because there's two like groups of people. It's like the ones who are like they're pretty much like homemade chemists, where they'll like
Yeah.
take it, like they'll measure out the dose, first, see if there's like a reaction, like take a small amount,
Like a Heisenberg.
yeah,
of
like
thing.
that shit. Then there's the other people who straight up just get their bag of white unknown substance and just rail 60
Dude,
milligrams
How
of
many?
whatever the fuck
How many
it
of those
is.
people do you think end up taking fentanyl though?
10 people have died according to that subreddit. It's not too many.
10 total? 10
Make
what?
sure-
Well, I mean, I don't know the
Make sure in the front of the mic.
I don't know the number.
10 out of in that subreddit. Which can't be
I think it's
large.
10 in the subreddit. I think it might be 10 people have killed
So do you think
themselves.
do you think a predominant? Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Wouldn't you be afraid that it like wouldn't ever go back to normal?
That's the thing. These
The
people
thing
aren't
is, too,
afraid.
we're not just talking about popping them. We're saying, like, they plan on taking these every day
Yeah, like,
for months.
This is the
to see
best.
what
The most
happens.
common thing you'll see on the subreddit is somebody will get some RC benzo.
Joe, let's get some examples.
And-
You got some
And,
examples?
and
Yeah,
these
this
RC
is
benzo people will start talking about how they're like, all right, I started taking 0.5 just to fall asleep at night, and then like the next comment will be like, I just had 4 seizures going through withdrawal, and then someone will be like, oh, like why did that happen? I got up to 8 milligrams a night. I think that's why you were dependent on research chemical benzos.
My thing is like, are these people like loners who are by themselves? Like, are they like
I
socially
just picture a
doing this?
Mr. Robot type character.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm
like,
picturing
it's not, I'm
people
not
who have,
picturing
like-
a normal human being doing this.
So I have the type of jobs they have, which whoever made this post is a hero, because that's what we all want to know. First one, obvious, Amazon warehouse. We know they're there. We know that.
Yep.
Next one, IT, research, and pharmaceuticals. Okay, we get it. You're in the weeds. You're in the weeds.
Yep.
Pharmacy tech, we got it. I smoke ice. He just does meth. He doesn't have a job.
I smoke ice.
He just he doesn't have a job. A professor. This guy's teaching children.
Well, no, a professor, dude.
Teaches
See,
adults.
that's a bad look for the brand, because then that's an example of people saying like, "Look at the fucking crazy people teaching our
Yeah,
kids."
he's also probably not a professor.
He's probably
in
a
real life.
chemist. No, he's probably a fake professor.
Yeah.
That's one thing you gotta imagine is probably 90%
Well, I
of people are
searched a
lying
lot
to
of
you.
these people too, and a couple of them are a little sketchy. But I'm
I'm sure all of them are
so
sketchy.
I operate ski lifts. That's good.
That's reassuring when you're up
This
there on a
guy's
shaky thing.
this guy's an aerospace TIG welder, so he's fixing planes. He's making sure those welds
I wonder
don't
which-
give up while they're going a mile high.
in these planes that have been doing these routes since the 80s.
This guy is a cook. Okay.
That's fine.
I fly planes for Spirit.
Spirit Airlines, I'm
and
sure that's
I
good
want
for
to
the
point.
brand.
This guy's name is, I'm calling them out. 66 LSD meth 66.
What? So here's the deal. What is
And I'm
the
gonna go through
background
his.
check
I'm gonna go
to
through
be a
his
pilot?
posts.
It's
Clearly
not
not
good
enough.
enough.
He loves Bonnaroo. He loves Halloween. Who doesn't?
Big Halloween guy.
All right, I got
His
another
whole
post.
thing's about drugs.
This is a common thing you see in the subreddit. Clonazepam plus 4 ACO DMT equals psychotic break and 3 days in jail.
He's just listing the chemicals.
Is it
Like,
just
These
me?
people are out in. These people have the potential of being out in public with you.
Yeah,
like
these
a
people
teacher.
are
Dude,
roaming
the
with
guy
us.
who almost stabbed us in the subway, dude. He took an unknown substance.
He was on
from-
RCs 100%.
Dude, and then all of a sudden he was saying that we were in charge of Buffalo and stuff like that, and we're like, dude, we're just sitting here coming back from the bar. It was something else.
I think
Clearly was because you keep
Definitely
bringing it up.
research chemicals though. So it's amazing that these people are allowed in public.
it's just amazing that like these people on the sub
Fly planes.
will get 2 white powders of unknown substances, do 0 research, and they'll go, you know what's a great idea? Combine them. And then they'll do that, and then the next day they'll post on Reddit how they just got out of jail for like assaulting somebody.
I guess you know what these people are. These
They're
people
insane.
these people are the modern day people that would eat random shit, and then the rest of the tribe would figure out if it killed them or not.
Well, I mean, that's what they want to do.
Well, that's fine.
I guess we need those people in a way.
We-
Yeah, society needs
Yeah,
old
but
people.
we need them on, like, an
you're
island.
real-
the
or
real
we need
something.
them to create religion.
Well, we need organization. Like we
The-
need to know. Like okay,
the
well,
real
really
reason, though,
what killed you?
realistically, for these group of people, is the war on drugs. Because if you looked at the jobs these people have, these are jobs where you're drug tested. They're addicted to drugs.
Because they go away.
But they need to
yeah.
find research chemicals that will
Yeah,
come up.
because this guy goes, I want to find something that's exactly like a cannabis high.
Bro,
And he
weed
can't
is-
smoke
dude,
weed.
Smoke weed.
Weed is dope, dude. But
Just smoke weed.
live without it.
But he's like, yeah, that's what I mean. I wouldn't be taking. This guy's
One guy,
an
I think he took
ex-trapper.
4
This is the
MMC.
16th century. Who's trapping?
I
These
think he means trapping, like selling drugs, though. I don't think
I
he means
don't-
trapping first.
I'm looking at his thing. I see first.
This guy, my favorite post is guy who's like, I took 4
That's what he
MMC.
Oh my god,
Oh my
man.
god.
It's exactly what you'd expect him to
That
look
is
like.
trapping. As
But
in
he's
the 21st
ex-trapper, so he
century
doesn't
term.
do that anymore.
Do you know what another
Oh,
subreddit?
what is that? What are those unknown pills that
Yeah.
are on his thing? What are people post? Do we post a podcast here? Hear me
Morning
out.
all
But-
Sandos. What is Sandos?
The
I'm not
fuck?
taking.
No, we're not
Takes-
taking
I'm not putting
screenshots.
these
We're not. We're not.
screenshots
I,
What is
I have
it?
an iPhone now.
Do you
They're
guys-
gonna
we don't
track
need these
me.
mentally
Have you guys
deranged
ever
people
been
coming
on the
from us.
subreddit called
What is this?
let me see.
That's probably Adderall, I'd imagine.
Can I see?
Or
How do I
that's
take these 30s? I usually snort
Oh,
them.
it's Parks.
It's actually
They're
insane
lumped in
how
together every
willy-nilly
time.
people talk about their just blatant drug use on the internet. I've never understood that.
He's
I
on
guess
r//
like I guess
Metalhead.
like it's kind of like the logic of like anybody who makes like is really open
He
about
smokes
smoking or
opiates with a
drinking on the
dab
internet.
rig.
Oh my god, man!
Wait, I guess actually that's a good way to do it in a way.
He's a bricklayer too.
That's
Jesus Christ.
well, if you lay bricks, you can fucking smoke opium.
Someone offered
better
me.
than
Someone
shooting it,
offered
in
me.
my
at
Opium's
I
like
tell
really
you.
hard to
I
find.
can't remember
No
who
one
it was. I can't remember who it
smokes
was. but
opium anymore.
Someone,
Yeah, I know.
Someone on.
It's kind
It's
of
a waste.
I've heard it's awesome.
A print
No,
and
no,
press
co-
operator.
Compared to shooting
You know
it,
what?
it's a waste.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was offered recently?
Because it's so rare, but like I'm not gonna shoot
Yeah,
it.
what were
I'm
you
not gonna
offered,
shoot
Coop?
it.
What I recently was offered
Sex worker.
was not a sex worker. What I recently was offered
Just
at one of
reading.
these mics. Someone's like, "Yo, dude, do you want this DMT cart I have?" And I go, "Bro, what?"
Why would you smoke that in public at a
Well, no,
open
no,
mic?
no. He wanted me to like.
See, I'm gonna go over here for 10 minutes.
No. He
Just
wanted me
sit.
to. He wanted me to like take it from him, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not something I need the convenient like access to, and also
That
I
is-
don't think that's something I want to take from cart form at all, or ever, to be honest with you. But
is
in cart form
insanity.
especially,
Oh, you know another great thing you just reminded me about cart form. Another thing, these people will get random ass like fake benzos and then figure out how to fucking freebase them. And it's just like, just take the pill like a normal person.
people are mad interested.
They're like,
man.
I injected. The guy was like, I
They're
took these.
hardlining it
He's
into
like, I
their
took
body.
LSD, like some fucking compound of LSD, and then then he'll like inject fucking some RC benzo,
Dude,
and then complain
a-
about how he thought he was
This
gonna
is
die.
a great podcast
Yeah,
to
that's
have
wh-
at my
that's
parents'
why.
house.
Well, yeah, but we're kind of talking about why drug use. Okay,
Drug
another
use is drugs are bad. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Don't
This
do
is,
drugs, kids.
This is bad.
yeah, drugs
no,
are bad.
no,
okay,
no. But the thing is like, it's interesting because I don't know anyone who does that, really.
Yeah,
But that's
kinda.
gotta be such an.
yeah, it's just
well,
weird
yeah,
to think that there's
yeah.
people around us who are like ordering.
I think I know
Boat-
people who
Yeah,
have
'cause-
gone through that phase.
But also,
who are
that
ordering
makes me feel
boatloads
way
of
better
RCs.
about my like relationship with weed and stuff.
Yeah,
because
like
it's
my normal
I'm,
life.
Like, low key, like chilling. Dude.
Like I feel good. I feel good about myself.
It's great to it's great to feel good about yourself sometimes. Like that's like one of the better
Wow.
the better parts of stand up every once in a
I
while
love that-
is
that-
like I haven't
that
yet
Good to
segue,
feel good.
Coop.
I haven't yet felt like the worst person of the night before.
That's
Granted,
good.
maybe
That's good.
granted, maybe I'm like that's like some sense of like, oh, I don't think I didn't do the worst for sure. Maybe. But also like probably not though. So that's always that makes me feel good. I'm not gonna lie. Every once in a while when I watch someone do bad, I'm like, all right. Word. Like I'm not gonna dude, literally it's probably one of the best motivational things doing stand up is watching other people do stand up poorly.
I'm not gonna name any names, but there's someone that when I check the Instagram, it's
How about you
always-
don't? Because you
Say it.
you narrowed it down so much to someone who's probably been on our podcast. Actually, no, you have
No.
my Instagram, so you have.
No, I have the cooped up instead.
That's what I
It's
mean.
Who
Do you
we
have my,
follow.
like- but I
it's
u-
someone we follow.
Okay,
and
yeah.
it's just like, man, those are a lot of bombs. You're just posting.
Yeah,
What do
yeah,
you
that's
mean?
interesting.
Someone, it's just like, why do you keep? So like, I get. I don't want to discourage anyone because you do
You
have
probably
to.
shouldn't. Yeah,
You do
Jake
have to.
Novak.
You do have to take videos of yourself. You gotta listen to yourself, put it
Yeah.
out there, and take the criticism and stuff. But
it's good for feedback. Yeah.
It's good. It's important, and you gotta do it. So I don't like come at it that way.
Oh, I
and
thought
that's
you
why I'm
meant
not,
this
like,
dude was posting.
No, not
bombs.
like literal. No, he's bombing.
Not literal bobs.
Does he? Is
not
he?
in. No, he's keeping the crowds going.
Does
or
he?
like the crowds
Does he realize
pitying
he's
him.
bombing, or is
Yeah.
it like confident posting?
It's confident. It's confident, and it's like, okay, he's trying, he's doing it. You can't.
So
blame
is
the
this
guy.
somebody you guys know who also has picked up
I don't
stand-up?
know the guy.
Oh, it's.
I'm just like
oh,
It's
seeing
someone who's
it.
on the Cooped. I don't know who he's talking about, truthfully. So I'm gonna be honest. If so,
Cool. So I'm
Hey,
keeping
here's the
it.
deal: if you're a comic and you're actually watching, which I don't know if any of you
You're
do,
most likely.
not calling
if you
anyone
are, it's
out.
probably not you. So cool for
And
you.
odds
Yeah.
are you still fucking stink.
And it
most
could
likely.
be any old TikTok
So
comedian.
we're not talking
Dude,
any
oh my
specific
God!
one
While
of
we
these.
say
TikTok
this, by the way, I
comedians.
want to transition because this is something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Meeting your friends, mutual friends, like Aaron. I met like your buddies, like your Suffolk kids.
Mhm.
Like meeting those people, but meeting your friends pro cop last week was so interesting because the one kid commits to the bit like I've never fucking seen before. He made me literally like, you know, the new Nathan For You show
Yeah.
where I had to pause it for a second and be like, dude, I'm uncomfortable. It was like that in real life and I couldn't escape it. So
Tell
I
me
just
about it.
turned around and I went like, ooh. I literally took a second and I
Oh
turned
my
back
God.
around because I have such a hard time in real life because this happens all the time, especially now that I've done stand up and have
Everything's a
people
bit,
acting.
right? You can't tell.
But,
Like, you
but
overthink
you
it.
can't tell
You just
sometimes.
always are like, is this
But
a
like
bit?
when someone like takes that like step to make it like semi like personal,
What was,
especially
can you give examples?
okay.
Well, I
So
can give.
so this one so what I'll tell you exactly what happened. So
I
this
love
one
this.
it was like this one like
I got a
trippy
video.
this one like trippy girl band, and they just like rocked out. I think they had a throuple with their drummer. I don't care. I made that intrigue up in my head. One of them was definitely dating the drummer, but I was thinking like there was a throuple thing. It added intrigue to the show that we were at. I thought there was a great show. But
theremin
anyways, the set was cool. They were kind of like a jam band. We talked about it recently. Not a big jam band guy, but it was cool. The girl comes off the stage and she's like interacting with us. Oh, this is another guy, but don't distract him while I'm telling the story. I was interacting, like she came up like to my face and I was like, "Oh, you great set." And then your friend goes, "Oh, I second that. I agree." But then he looks to your friend who like played the guitar last, whatever your friend what's his name?
Oh, TJ.
TJ, great guitar player. He looked at TJ and goes, but he thought your set sucked. And I was like, oh. And dude, she did not take it as a joke. And he like, even your friend was like, dude, why would you say that? Especially because it was tough because that would be like me saying someone sucked before they got up on before I got up on stage. Like, dude, he was going up next. That would have rattled me, to be honest with you, if I was his friend. Dude, he committed the girl's face, dude. That's why I turned around. I was like,
Yeah. So that's that kid 100%.
oh, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. It was literally one of those things that I was like, it was, you could like, dude.
He's a kid you want on your team. Here's the
No,
thing.
yeah,
though.
100%. Oh, he was fucking with me at first until I picked up on it, and I was like, oh, this kid's like a bit guy. He's a rascal.
So he's like whiz with computers and shit, and
Sure
like
he is.
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
He's that.
Checking out.
He's one of those. So he's like the like. Oh, I
thought it was
take
funny. I
advantage
respect
of
it.
NPCs. He takes advantage of NPCs rather than tries to like, are you an NPC? He just assumes you're an NPC. And I'm gonna go for the. I've played this game 1,000 million times already, and I can beat it by like,
Dude.
just killing you.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I respect it a lot. But also, like, I don't do well with that in real life.
So here's how I deal with it. I was running door for the thing, and I went to take a phone call, and this kid's running door with me. Our friend like trusts him to do that. I'm like, okay, I guess so. He's like competent enough to do that. Like he
really
runs
knows this
he runs hospital like IT systems. That's how trusted he is.
Oh boy.
I think
love
that's
big
that should
guy.
lead into the
but
doctors.
I leave the door.
Doctors are bullshit. I'll double down on that.
I leave the door to go take
Only
this
the top
phone
ones
call.
are good.
I have my phone to my
Specialist.
ear, and then my friend who's not covering the door comes up behind me with the phone in my ear. I'm like, haha. And then he shows up right behind me. I'm like, can you not do a fucking job? And I literally yell at him, and I'm kind of yelling right now. And it's late at night.
No, it's fine. Fuck these people. I guess I'm living here now.
And like now I feel like a bad person because I like yelled at him like a child, but it had to happen because it's like you leave the one post you were given.
I was standing there. I could have handled it.
I know, but like that's not on you, Coop. That's on him. He was asked to do that. And it's like, dude. But like that's how like he that's how I have to deal with that.
It's also funny to see that you're not the like
the bit hurts. Guys.
It's kind of like when you meet Max's friends and you like shout out to Bot Boy Max, dude, you're a legend. But you like realize he's not the Max of that group all the time. That's also a really funny dynamic. Like you weren't the pro cop of that group, which is hilarious. Like, dude, dude, your friends are mad funny. They're exactly what I would imagine what your friends from like your hometown would be. That was like until you sent the picture of. By the way, I hope he's not salty. I did the chainsaw picture of the
no,
I thought that was mad fun.
He loves that.
I thought that was mad funny, dude.
You put my dog on the cover. You know that, right? Did you see it?
I know. I did see that. I kept the dog in it too because it added an effect. But yeah, dude, it was just it's a dynamic. It's so funny. I love going into other people's
friend groups.
Yeah, it's.
It's to be an
It's an
outsider
interesting-
for.
Oh yeah, because it's like it's in you had because for the most part I feel like I can at least like bounce stuff off like anybody. Like I got along with your friends. I feel like for the most part like I can move around groups, but it's like I don't like it's being the outsider to dynamics is always my favorite thing on the planet. I like it because I just sit back. I don't talk as much, and it's like a TV show. To be honest with you, it's really funny.
Is anybody ass really itchy?
No.
You got monkeypox?
No.
I'm not vaccinated. I'll just say that.
You know what someone said to me last night too, by the way? So we were talking about Costco or
Can you hand
something.
me a White Claw? Actually, don't, because you've been touching your monkeypox ass.
Yeah, go wash
Then
your
I'll
hands.
Go, get
Dude.
my
Go
own.
wash your hands. Maybe go check. What is wrong with you?
Dude, you definitely have it. Biden got it.
No, you got COVID.
You know that feeling you get when
Yeah.
you go to the beach all day and then you come back home and like you're
Yeah,
sitting
you
in
had
the car.
swamp ass, dude.
and
Go
it's like
wipe your ass.
No, it's not the swamp ass though. It's like that like sandy like itch, and I don't know why. I'm gonna blame your chairs. I was gonna say my ass didn't hurt on the ride back. It was until I got on that chair. Coop.
Then take the cushion off.
That's what I'm going to do.
If you have monkeypox, you should. I don't want you to touch my microphone anymore.
Monkeypox.
How would he know?
How do we? I can't say it on the podcast. But
No. I don't.
I think monkeypox is fake.
Why do you think it's fake,
I don't know, man. It came up too quick.
bro?
Would it be fake? We have one of these diseases every like 30 years.
No. It's fine.
Well, we just had one.
What? You can't be what?
Well, I guess they added a whole. Do we take this bit? Do I go with this bit?
Go with the bit.
I don't know if I want
The
to.
monkeypox bit.
I'll go with the bit.
Dude,
Aaron's got monkeypox.
Dude, apparently,
I
like
this
people are.
bit.
There's like people who are like I've seen on TikTok that are like in public with it, and people are like, "Dude, why are you in a restaurant?" And they're
They
like,
said
"Oh, the
you get
doctor
it from
said."
gyms. That's like the biggest place people have been getting it. So
Oh,
you don't
cool.
wipe down the bench.
Even if you do, that shit doesn't do anything.
I mean, you get the
It's soaked
sterile
into.
wipes.
It's soaked into the thing, dude. That's that.
Nah, it's
those things are
leather.
gross, man.
But that's where people are getting it mostly. Is the gyms.
Fantastic, right? When I want to get in shape, that's another excuse for me to gain 50 pounds over the winter.
Yeah, I've never been a community gym person. I did it one time.
You're a gym
Like-
person at all?
I did.
With those guns, of course he is.
Yeah. No, I did like weightlifting for hockey in high school, and I had like a
I did a lot
pretty
more core
routine.
stuff. I never really lifted weights. I did core and legs and like more
Yeah, we did
dynamic
like
stuff.
it was more deadlifts and core stuff, and then evening out the arms and stuff, and then like a lot of like agility training. But yeah, not a fan of the community aspect of it. Definitely need my privacy.
Yeah, it's not the privacy thing to me.
If
It's
you
just
get-
people are gross and I hate them.
Yeah, that's why I need
think
my
it
privacy.
went pretty well with COVID. Everyone kind of got into, in my experience.
Did it, dude?
Well, at least
Did
at
it,
the
or did it-
Plymouth gyms. And once you get to Dorchester, all bets are off, dude. It's a Wild West.
Yeah, I did live
out there.
I can tell you maybe like I don't know. You know what blows my mind still to this day though is the people. You know,
I was trying to sip.
I need to get a water.
it's really weird seeing people who do walk around with masks on still at this point, especially with like KN95s and stuff. When I'm in Big Y, I'm like, damn, dude, like.
I mean, I go into the supermarket with a mask on.
Are you
I will
serious?
never not go on a plane with a mask.
The
Someone
mask that I
tries-
do on airports
a
all the
mask.
time.
Like
Someone tried to
But
order
a
a beer for me
supermarket,
with a mask on.
I'm
I
never
could
close
not
enough to
understand
anybody.
it. Like, it's like my brain. Like I used to be good at understand someone underneath a mask, and then all of a sudden I saw someone order a beer for me today on a mask, and I was like, I couldn't do it.
Dude, the worst was when I was
'Cause I
working.
couldn't understand what she was saying.
Dude,
Wait,
the
she
worst
was
is when
ordering for. She was
So
your waitress.
I was at Longhouse. No. I was at Longhouse briefly, and I needed to jump in behind the bar where I'm best suited.
Longhouse, give us money.
And she came up with a mask on, and she asked for a beer, and I couldn't figure out what beer it was. I just couldn't do it. And it took me like 3 tries. I'm like, what beer? And she was kind of mumbling, but like the mask didn't help. And that's the first person. Plymouth is not good with masks. I'll tell you that. It never has been.
No.
let's
so
just say
the-
Plymouth doesn't lean left.
No, it doesn't. But
It does not.
But dude, the worst was like the
do
kids
this
with the
again.
masks. Dude, you couldn't understand them because they can't pronunciate anything. They can't
Pronunciate? Is that what you just said?
Enunciate.
Oh,
Pronunciate. Pronounce is what I meant. I combined them.
pronunciate.
Damn. But they can't enunciate
Swivel it
anything,
out.
so it's just like, dude, it's like, what the fuck? I can't understand what you're saying. But anyway,
I can't hear at all anymore.
I'm definitely no. You know what it is, dude? It's for the most part, I literally like mute everybody else unless I like know someone's directly talking to me.
I can't
Like, I'm in
wait for
public,
Google subtitles on everybody now. We wear glasses.
Yeah, I need the I need the
Subtitles.
I need the chip.
We get some of that AI. I don't know. Make it work. I'll pay for it.
I do.
I'll pay $10 a month
I
for
do
that.
love
Yeah, I'll
translate. I
subscribe to
do. I play games where I'm like, oh, what is this phrase in every language, and I just go through each of them. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's actually pretty cool.
It's fun to know. It's just be like, okay.
It's fun to know.
Like if
Do you have like a go-to language list, or are you just going down like starting with what's the top one? Probably be
well,
Afrikaans
no, I do
or
like
something like
I
that,
do the
and you
ones I
just keep
know
going.
first. So like I do Spanish, and then
I do Spanish and
You
Spanish.
know Spanish, all right.
Italian
Never heard of
because I
it.
can get that,
Italian,
and
pretty
then
close.
from there I can go to like French,
Also,
and then I can
romance
see
language.
I can see the romance first, and then I go to the like Slavic languages because I'm
Oh.
learning Polish. Not
Gross.
really.
Why
I
would
have
you learn
Babbel, and I
Polish?
don't want to
He's
spend
Polish.
money yet.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
just learn German.
A lot
No, I
of them
gotta
spoke
do that
English
too.
in Poland, didn't they?
I still
It's
have
a
the
mix.
year streak on Duolingo with German. I still don't know that much German at all, but I got a year on it. That's on.
See, I don't think I'd have a hard time with German because I can like.
It's one of the harder ones.
I don't, well, not
Really?
Prokop. He's
Yeah.
a whiz kid.
No, no,
Well,
no. I looked
'cause
it up because I
it's
thought
like
it would
you
be
see
easy.
all the sentence structure is very similar.
No, it's not. That's the
it's
thing.
just
I
the
thought
the use of
the words are
words.
similar to our words, but like the structure is different. So you'll have like the verb at the beginning, and then like who the verb is addressing at the end, or something like
Coyotes.
that. So like,
That's something.
so what? Hold on, be like, if you're telling someone to sleep, it'd be like schlafen sie, which is like sleep you. Which,
Okay.
But sie could also
it's
mean
almost like
they.
it's almost like a sign language in a way where it's like you
I couldn't tell you, but
you
I know
basically
this is poop. So that's visual for you
so,
guys.
So if you were going to do like okay, so do poop again, Joe. Let me see that one. So if you were going to say I have to poop, you just go poop me or like yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I
we
think.
should.
I don't know. I shouldn't
what-
say that because my
No,
wife's
I
the one
believe that.
who's learned
I
it.
feel
but
like
she
I know
doesn't
that
say-
one because when I worked with kids, and if they were deaf, I feel like that's an important one to know.
Like,
okay,
like-
I know what I gotta do. You say that.
let's go, let's go, let's go,
Let's go. Let's go.
Do you think there's ever going to be a point where they force us to learn ASL?
I don't think so.
Good.
I hope.
Do you know that
I don't
every
know.
like language has its own sign language?
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
stupid. That is
I try to
just
make a bit about that.
brain
like,
dead.
It's
Some
kind of
people,
dumb.
some people liked it, some people didn't.
Like,
But I'm like, it's kind of fucked that if you like needed to do something, you were in another country,
You're
Like,
shit out of luck.
you're just like,
Imagine-
you're just like flashing nonsense.
Dude,
Like, that's unfair.
Imagine you're born in fucking Iceland, so you're probably like,
I don't,
You're one of
No
what?
one thought it was funny, dude. I went up. That was one of the ones I went up there and I said that, and people just sat there, and I was like, dude, that's like a legitimate problem. I feel like that's unfair of them.
no, but you're right. Like, imagine you're born in Iceland.
It should be
and you're
easy
one
to
of-
set up the same language.
You're
I
one
feel
of
like they should
you're
get
one of
together.
four. You're one of
I feel like
four
you can
people.
only do so much symbols with your hands
Literally.
too.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
I'm saying.
I was shocked in the
Also-
first place.
Also, like, I don't know.
Exactly. It's a blank slate. We can all start
know
on
what's
the
crazy,
same.
too?
Like, imagine you're from
What's
Iceland.
second?
I've been trying to talk for like 10 seconds.
I want to tell you one thing that's crazy.
Alright, I'm gonna talk,
there's,
though.
There's Mexican Spanish and then there's Spanish.
No, it's the same thing. No, it's the
not.
same. It's
It's
okay.
not.
That's
Look it
no,
up.
no. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's the
Look it up.
difference
Wanna
between
bet?
I
English
like how
and
he's gone free
British
smoke.
English. It's the difference.
I might do that too.
They can understand each other clearly.
it's fine. You can
You're
do
wrong,
whatever.
Cooper. Like, I
It's,
promise you,
got
you're
two
not
different
right.
languages.
It's
I'm
not.
telling you.
That's
I say we
saying
test
English
this.
and Canadian English is different.
Wait.
It's
Do you
called
mean- do you
Castilian
mean there's
Spanish.
Mexicans-
Sign language is
there's
different.
Mexican
Oh, you did-
sign
hey,
language.
that
There's
was-
Mexican Sign Language and then
Okay.
there's Spanish Sign Language. That's what I said.
Okay, but
you
you
did
did
just
just
say-
say you did
did-
just say like Spanish.
What are you
Mexicans-
talking about?
I know, but like it
You
sounded like
said
you were
Mexican
adding to the
Spanish.
yeah.
It's Spanish.
It sounded like
Spanish.
you were adding to the conversation by being also this is different. Like it didn't.
No. In sign language,
You guys kind of interrupted my bit, but I'll finish it anyways. I was gonna say because I always make fun of like Europeans
You
for
can't
like
cover your mouth with the microphone. You gotta.
I have been this
Yeah,
whole
but you've
time.
been like this. It's like
It's been like this whole time.
General Kenobi.
What do you, Cooper, Joey? Watch when the recording comes back and no one can hear you because you've been talking like this the whole time. I'll be loud.
Aaron won't watch it, but
so
we'll
he
watch
won't
I'll
know.
be clear as day. But I always make fun of Europeans for being like, oh, these Americans only speak fucking English. And it's like, okay, your country has 14 people in it. Like, you speak English so you can talk, right? Imagine being one of like 8 deaf people in Iceland and you learn fucking Icelandic sign language. You're fucked. You are so
Yeah.
fucked in your little fucking village. I bet it's been generations
At that
since
point,
you've been able to talk to somebody.
This is probably
Oh
bad.
my
This is
God.
probably bad.
Oh.
at that point, you
Well, they
have to
can't
learn
hear-
another
But
one
you've
so you
got to
can
learn
get
American
like
Sign
famous.
Language. And then you know what the worst fucking part about that Icelandic deaf person is they're going to brag about how they're fucking bilingual in fucking sign language. You're bilingual because you wanted to speak to more than your fucking your caretaker, okay?
We might need to cut this shit, dude.
Oh, this might get archived.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow.
We're not laughing. I'm laughing
I
at the
told you guys
ridiculousness
it was
of
a
it.
good bit. And I was trying
It's
to
a
get
great
at it.
bit.
It was a
That-
good bit.
We were
Wow.
laughing at you.
What
What
a-
do you mean?
no, Aaron, that's a good bit. You towed the line there,
No,
100%.
because you're
No,
right.
Joey didn't. Oh,
Well, I
Joey
said they're
dove
not
in.
listening to a podcast,
No,
is what I said.
Well, it's a visual. We'll put the captions on it.
But they
Iceland
could be,
too is the
honestly.
type of country
yeah, it's gonna
that
go
like
on YouTube.
will force
Oh,
like
shit.
will force
we got a nuts screen
every
cover.
single like, you know when you see like Biden speaking and like they do like the sign,
Yeah.
but it's America, so like realistically
America?
there's probably like 6 million people, just random number, who need it. I think it's fair. Like, you should have a person signing when the Icelandic president speaking. There's a person who's getting paid a living wage just so 4 dudes can listen to their fucking
I
fucking
think it's
speaking.
absurd that they had that
They're
on
getting
the
paid
number.
government
Subtitles.
It can't
salary.
be 4. It can't be like that absurd.
Deaf
It has to be
people in
that.
Iceland right
look
now.
Up, but we're gonna do math. Look up how many
We're
people
gonna
are
do
deaf
math.
in
Deaf population
how-
Iceland.
No,
Percentage,
do
percentage.
United States. What's the United States deaf population? And we're gonna put that, and we're gonna do the math.
I still think it's ridiculous they had the sign language person on the Gordon Ramsay show and in Ireland, so they were like fucking Gordon Ramsay
Approximately-
screaming and he was signing.
How many deaf people are in the United States?
600,000.
Dude, they
In
are.
the United
Okay, how many?
States?
So
600,000.
what percent is that?
That's 300
That's
million.
less than-
That's a
of-
lot lower. There's 320
fully,
million
that's probably
people
fully,
here.
That's probably fully deaf.
Is that like a percent?
That's like
That's probably fully deaf.
Hold on,
like,
let me
in
check
our-
hearing
in our-
impaired.
that's
Just do the
a
math,
new match.
because that
Every time I
means
come to Plymouth, the people.
Iceland might not have deaf people. And that means they might like some baby's
the most
born.
outrageous
imagine,
thing.
imagine, imagine some child's born in
That
Iceland,
means there's
and
no
they
deaf.
All right,
and they
I'm gonna do the math
like the
here.
giver
I
count.
and they
don't-
finally
why do I
find
forget how to do math right
find
now?
the kid's deaf, and then they like their country melts down because they don't know how to deal with it. Like the kid
Just learn American. All right, so
Just
that's
speak English.
13%.
So the
13% or
Have hearing.
that
30
doesn't
million people
no, doesn't count.
experience hearing loss at an early age.
I think that's
So,
me.
If So,
Dude, we're the first generation.
No,
Because
that
we have
fucking
AirPods
headphones
and shit.
my
that just, like,
ears are.
no,
I shove it into our ears.
maybe.
Yeah,
That could be a
100%.
more recent.
There's
statement.
330
Like,
million, right?
330, yeah.
Divided
Anyways,
by 600,000. Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't it
and
be
that's
the
full.
opposite?
Yeah, and
I
that's
don't know. It didn't matter.
deaf.
Yeah,
It
you're
would be
right.
it would be the opposite.
Wait, Joey, are your keys in the truck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mom's really freaking out. She's like, come on. Not now, but like,
All right.
not too late.
That's like. Well, times 100, make that a percentage.
All right, so do
and then
that. And so
That's like
Iceland,
0.18%.
they don't have deaf people. They
So
wouldn't
how
know
many,
how to
what's the
handle it.
population of
I-
Three,
oh,
200,000.
200,000?
Like 300,000, something like that.
It's definitely
250,000?
more than that.
No, it's that low.
Iceland.
300,000 times
I mean, I guess
0.18.
so.
It's not even it. So that's like one dude.
That one dude. That must be.
So you were not far off.
Imagine,
Oh, no.
dude.
Oh no!
Everyone lives in that one city. Imagine
Please.
he's like in rural fucking like Iceland in the middle of nowhere, and he's just alone.
I hope at this point, please, if this is on the internet and some Icelandic
If
person,
you know
you're
the
deaf,
only, we want to
please
interview him.
tell us there's more than one.
definitely
Tell
went
us
wrong.
we're totally wrong.
There's an E in there.
That's not right.
Please
Oh my
come,
God.
Please come for us and tell us we're wrong. We don't know if we're not.
I'm a little
We're
nervous
just
about having my leg
we're
on the
just
podcast.
basing it off of percentages, guys.
And this is not even good math. This is off. You don't even have scientific calculators.
And
on
you
the
know too,
iPhone.
Iceland's one of those fucking Northern Europe countries.
They're one of the ones that would have their
So
own.
they have an entire fucking university fucking course on like sign.
I
And no one
honestly-
takes
Oh
All
my
right.
god,
Whoa.
guys! When you
Yeah.
Google ice, what the fuck? When you Google Iceland deaf population, it says about 200 deafies. I don't know if
Is
that's
that Scandinavian for something?
I don't know
Yeah,
if
what
that's
does
an
that mean?
okay term or not. That like that they've said like yes, that's our word
There's
and you can
200.
use that and we like it. But that doesn't sound like the best word to use.
I can drive with Joey and get my car back if you want.
Wait, what?
I said I'll be
So
home.
200,
around
okay.
10:40,
That's a-
so we're
that-
good.
Indiana State
I was just
University
offering
said
if
that.
you needed to go right
So
now.
I mean, it's Indiana. Indiana's not the most progressive. What's going on here?
No, nothing.
No, we'll
He's
say
not
it.
driving my car.
Dude, you know what?
Off the record
No,
stuff.
I was saying he could drive mine.
I might take your truck.
Deffies. That's
Why do they call
Indiana
them
State.
deffies?
That's Indiana State. We're calling you out.
Can we look up the Icelandic word for deaf
It's probably
and
like
translate?
I got it. I'll do it.
It's
Just
probably
for
really
some reason,
I bet it has one of those.
That. Like,
Wait a minute, can I guess before you say? I bet it has that
Let me go on
stupid
Google,
looking
but-
O. It's like the sideways O thing they have. I bet that's there.
With like the
Google.
pizza
And
sign.
there's a
I
sun in
downloaded
it.
the app. I don't know.
It's probably like Defson.
deaf.
We're really ragging on the deaf tonight, huh?
No, we're not. We're bragging on Iceland more than anything, to be honest.
Icelandic.
Just
First of all, Icelandic. I'd like to point out
You're close
300,000. Is that what we said?
Yeah.
Learn Norwegian, and just go with that.
No. The problem
Learn
is
Swedish.
no.
Learn
Here's the
Dan-
thing. But the Swedish
whatever
people,
Denmark
too,
speaks.
Aren't they the same?
they only have 5 million people in Norway, so the,
whole
Norwegians also
log-
need to learn
Yeah,
English.
the whole logic is maybe they should all
Yeah,
just
but
learn the same.
Swedish, like whatever Denmark speaks, Danish, and then like Norwegian, they all like pretty much
It's
the
all
same.
the same
I have
language.
a question for
So
you.
why don't they just learn
Wouldn't you think at some point? I guess they probably couldn't have. They probably wouldn't have the
Yiddish.
teachers. But I'm saying
That's
like they should
definitely not
start
right.
teaching kids at a certain
Oh,
age.
it's dead,
like,
dude. I got it
everybody
fucking
the same
wrong.
language.
I think
At a
English
certain
should be
year.
the one language taught in the world.
Why?
Oh my god,
That's
it's
so
a big
close-minded
word.
to
Yeah,
you,
it's a
bro.
big.
Is it? I don't know.
I wouldn't put that out there. Should be Spanish.
You're learning with us.
You think English shouldn't be the language everyone learns?
Yeah,
I
that's
think you're
very
wrong.
that's very colonial of you.
Well,
Sorry.
I think you're.
The
what's,
colonizers.
what's,
Do you know what my favorite
it's-
thing in the
it's-
world
what's the
is when
biggest
people
one?
like from.
Isn't
definitely-
Spanish like the most colonial though?
Do you,
No,
do you know
it's
what's
like
so
Mandarin.
funny
There we
is
go.
when you're on
It's
social
definitely
media
Mandarin.
and there's like those kids from like who are like they're from like Latin America, you know, and they
Mhm.
don't understand that they too speak like a colonizer language. Like they'll make fun of like English for being like, it's a white man's language. I'm like, do you know where Spanish comes from?
Who started
like,
it?
who? You know, I actually gone like one of my
Let's trace this one back.
Wasn't
one
us.
of my addictions
We didn't
is
start it.
arguing on TikTok with people. I just love it.
Oh,
It's-
it is,
it's so
dude,
good.
Oh, it's my favorite thing
So
too.
this girl was like, it was something about being like a white Latina, right? And somebody commented on and said, "Speak Spanish then." And I decided, I was like, you do realize that Spanish has nothing to do with being Latina or like Latino, right? Like has nothing to do with it at all. And the person's like, yeah, it does. And
Yeah,
I'm
it
like,
does.
so what language do they speak in Brazil? And
Portuguese.
every single comment,
Ted Cruz
I got
is
like
a sexy Latinx.
I got like a bunch of fucking comments being like, yeah, they're not Latino. And it's like, these people are clearly like are Latino too. And I'm like a white dude arguing. So it's like, who am I to speak? So I didn't say anything, but I'm like, I wanted to be like, oh, thank you for speaking for the entire Brazilian community, guys. Like Haitians
They
are
speak
Latino too.
Portuguese, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's they're like,
Which
nope.
also Portugal. We see it.
Another
We
colonized
know
language,
what
Portuguese.
You did. We know what you did.
We know what you did, Portugal.
We see
We
you.
saw you.
You're lucky you shrunk your country.
You're lucky
to the
that your
size of,
country is
Rhode Island.
not good anymore.
You're lucky chorizo
That's
is
what
tasty.
Spain, Italy, and Portugal, they got lucky. That's the trick. You got to just like crumble for a bit.
Yeah.
Like England, they stayed a little too steady. France stayed a little too steady.
And well,
It looks like
England's fault is like the modern empire. So like
Yeah.
that's why everyone's like upset with them still.
No, dude, the thing I despise about
And-
all of
But
you
they
Yeah,
just didn't
'cause they
fumble
suck.
is
the
how
bag.
they act
They
like
do
they're way
suck.
more open-minded than us, and they're way worse.
Oh, they're so much
They're
worse.
so much worse than like the U.S. is a different problem, and I'm not saying like,
But
I'm
it's more
saying,
of a recent problem.
yeah, but
It's not hundreds of years.
No, but like the thing
Man,
is,
it
the thing
actually
is
definitely
too.
is 100
It's not 100
The
years.
thing is too
You got
is
Mexico.
like
I'm
the
sorry, Mexico.
dude, the rise of like fascism and stuff in France. Like the first sign of refugees showing up there is fucking crazy.
Like that's the
It's not
wild
even
thing.
that
Is, like,
many.
we complain about Trump, and I'm not gonna defend him here, but like that what's her name, Le Pen in France? She is a
was a
Nazi.
he.
There isn't like this isn't that like
She
liberal
is a
like all
Nazi.
like fascist. No, like she is a full blown
They don't
Nazi.
hide it over there.
And she got what 46% of the vote in France. Like
That's a
these
close
people
election.
are fucking evil.
My favorite thing on the planet is how there's a sickness for people who go to Paris and are so disappointed that it literally breaks their heart and they get sick because they've like waited their whole life to like save money to go to Paris, and they have this like romanticized version of it, and they get there and it's like, this place is fucking disgusting. It's a terrible place, I've heard. Paris is honestly not on my it's
same.
not
It's
same
pretty-
thing.
it's not
To
on
be
my
real,
list.
same thing with London.
No, London is the second best city on planet Earth. But I think that Paris syndrome makes me think I will like Paris because I like my cities a little grimy. I like a little character to
I just
them.
don't like French people. to
Yeah,
be
me
real.
neither. Like,
Oh,
but like
neither.
That's the
I
thing,
want
couldn't
my
pretend
city.
that long.
I want there to be the graffiti on the
Maybe do a
walls.
day
I
in
want there to be a
Paris.
little trash on the street.
See, that's
See,
why
the
I'm
thing
learning
is- it
Polish.
just gives
it
so if
soul.
I go
The thing
to
is
Europe,
when we went,
There's not
we
gonna be
went
a
to
Poland,
when we
so-
went to when we went to Ireland, dude,
It's gonna
and
be
we were in
called
the
Eastern Russia or
Yeah, I
Western
know.
Russia.
They're very similar.
What are you
Just
saying
gotta
about
learn the
Ireland?
when we were in
characters.
Ireland and we were in the bathroom and it was like the Model UN meetings, dude, with like people from all the most
yeah.
annoying people. The most annoying people by far were the French people in there. And then the British people kind of had an attitude too, and I'm like,
Welsh weren't that great either.
no, Welsh were touchy. I heard.
No, yeah, they
I
definitely.
think the Welsh are a little upset because the Irish and the Scottish get all the attention.
Well, that's
and
because
they're like-
how many people are in Wales? It's gotta be less than Iceland.
Not many. Probably.
No, I think there's like 4 million of them, or two.
It's in
In
Wales.
2 million. That's my guess.
in
2 million.
Wales.
Population.
It's smaller than Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
3.1.
How many
They're-
people they fit
Why-
in
what
over
are they
there?
doing?
Dude, I'm gonna be real. I don't know how they fit them. I do not know how they fit them
Yeah.
over there.
I thought it was all countryside too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I guess
So
not.
it's just dude.
Do you
To
know how
be
you
real,
freak out
Dublin
a
was such a-
English person? Do you know how you scare an
They
English
count
person?
sheep as people.
You show them a tree.
Yeah. Thing is
Dude,
with Wales,
don't they like put them in gates and shit?
we'll dedicate a whole episode to Wales in the future.
We'll do a whale special.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
But just remember that
All
you are
types
not
of Wales.
unincluded from any of this.
Well, dude,
From all the Britain talk, we're including Wales.
no, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You're
It's
their language is
included.
gross, right? The Welsh language,
There's a lot of Y's, a lot of G's, maybe. It's really-
disgusting. I've heard it is.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I think non-English Britons is out there, or no,
Brits.
Brits. Well, Britain is the whole entire island.
Yeah.
So if you're from Scotland, Wales, or England, you're British. But Northern Ireland technically isn't Britain. So does that mean United Kingdom ish.
Yeah, you're Ukes.
You're UK. You're UK.
Ukes, can we
You're
make
part
that
of the UK.
Where
Yeah.
you
None of you guys.
Ukes.
just like
Blokes.
the same way we as Americans get looked at as we're all the same from like Europeans. Like it's like you're all American at the end of the day. You're all from the UK.
To be honest, you're all European.
That too. You're all
Europe
European.
is the size of America, and they like judge us. To be real, the
You guys
fact
have
that
a
we
war
have
going on.
the fact that we have so much connected in America, I feel like culturally.
And with Canada and Mexico, I
To be
would
real,
say.
yeah, so much culturally.
Three
And how many wars? Not that
huge
many.
How many
countries.
wars have we ever
Not
had
that
in this
many
country?
wars.
Pretty secure over here.
Pretty
We had
good.
the Civil War.
We're not-
Mexican-American War.
We had
and
the Civil
yeah,
War,
but that
but that
was-
was for that was for bananas
Can we take?
and
We're
money.
not big war people.
We needed the
Americans
bananas.
aren't big war people. It's not our
No,
thing.
they're little proxy wars.
We're
mostly.
not in-
Honestly, there's South America is still
We're
salty,
not- we're not-
but I'm not gonna get into that.
I would say, unlike
They
the
are-
Europeans, we're
they're-
not into violent
they're a little
conflict.
salty.
They need some more fruit because
It's
we keep
just-
taking it.
We keep taking all the
we're
bananas.
more
and
of
guac.
embargo fans.
We're big embargo people,
I feel like we're big, and we're more like proxy wars. I feel like,
but
things.
we're not big
Which,
into war.
Hey, what's worse?
both.
Proxy war, I don't know. Proxy war's a
The
little
crazy
less
thing was the
worse,
guy.
in my
By the way, the
opinion.
video that I said that you guys said was old. The video you guys said
If
was
we're gonna
old was
come
not
down
old.
to it, if you're gonna put me gun to my
The guy who's like, it's actually pretty hard to throw shoes.
You're gonna
Like,
put the
they were
gun in my
talking
head.
about
I'd rather you
You're-
put the
No, they were
gun
talking about the
to
January 6th.
that guy's
Yeah.
head.
Was he actually?
Yeah,
have
so it's
him do it.
recent. Recent. But
Where we going back to Balkan Wars round 2?
I can't.
Kosovo. I think he's gonna come out on top.
Isn't it Kosovo?
Kosovo.
Kosovo.
Do you guys know
That
anything
sounds
about
like
this? Like,
I've
I
been
just
looking
know
into
the
it.
history
I
of it.
know it's
No,
insane.
I know
No,
that
it's-
it's something to
I've
do
heard it's
with
bloody.
passports. It's
are
something
you
to do
sure?
with passports.
Has it actually
No,
gotten
it's
hot?
not bloody. There's
Not
no
right
way.
now.
Oh, wait,
no,
right
no,
now?
the Balkan
Wait,
stuff
can I
in
say
general,
something
yeah,
really
I'm
funny that
pretty
I've
sure-
learned too recently about? So do you know when we talk about how NATO bombed Serbia, and that's like a whole thing, like Serbia hates us, and like the response to that is kind of like that's one of the few bombings that's talked about like it's like it was okay, like it was good. You know what I mean? Kind of like.
to be honest with you, I
But
haven't
that's
really
like a
heard
bomb where
about it.
people it was a good idea because apparently it stopped a
If you go
genocide. Right?
northern Macedonia.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing
really
that I actually just
pay
learned,
attention.
and I'm not trying to add anything.
Oh, so this is news.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, that's what I'm saying.
So this is what I've.
No,
I've
can I finish
read.
my point real quick? Because
Okay.
I was gonna say,
He's getting very frustrated.
I mean,
Well, you can finish, but is it about why they're
You can
fighting?
fin-
Because
he's
that's what
allowing
I
you
was
to
gonna
finish.
say.
no, but let me just say, I'll get to
Okay.
it. What I'm saying is, we're taught that we bombed Serbia to stop the genocide, right?
Is that true?
This is when I get into it, and it's like that's accepted. What happened was, we'll say
like
there was
he's,
an alleged genocide. I
sympathizing
don't
a
want to
little bit.
pick sides here. That ended in 1993, I believe. The bombing of Serbia was in '99. So it's starting to sound
There's
like
a couple stragglers.
we just leveled Belgrade
We're
for no
still
fucking
bombing-
reason.
we're still bombing the Taliban.
We're still, I was gonna say, but basically the war I think has to do with Kosovo.
We just killed one
It's
of them,
for
right?
Lockheed Martin. Please.
Kosovo
We need to
wants
stock it up.
documentation. Like they want their own
Yeah, it's for the
documentation.
economy.
That's what they want.
Well, I
right
thought it
now.
was something like if Cooper gets pissed, he can't register his car.
That's what's happening.
And you start
because,
a civil war.
because Serbians, there's a few Serbian people who live in Kosovo, and they're
That's
like, I
literally
don't
what it
want.
seems
They're like, I'm
like.
Serbian. I don't need papers for this. Also,
yeah,
you know what I
it
also heard?
sounds.
I also heard Azerbaijan or Armenia is getting back into it again too.
Oh,
All
fantastic!
right. Well, has it ever stopped?
What is going on over there, man? The Ottomans did a number on these people. Daddy issues to the max, dude.
Do
What
you know
did
the
Turkey do?
Ottomans lost like almost as much as Russians to World War One?
Oh, they did. Yeah, they.
What did Gallipoli just steamroll?
Yeah, dude. The
Well, that-
Australians
is that-
came in. And just,
Dude, that was like, that one was I heard not great.
but they lost close to Russian numbers.
That's-
Of,
Well,
like,
here's the
more
other
than-
thing.
More than
But
Germany.
realistically,
That's
didn't Russia
insane.
like kind of give up pretty quickly?
Well, Russia also just kept throwing them in.
But I think Russia gave up on
had
World
the
War One.
Civil War. That was the whole reason.
In World War.
They
World
weren't
War
doing
One.
too hot.
Well, they
during
didn't.
That time
They
period.
didn't start off great, but and then
Russia's
Here's
Yeah,
a
the whole
tip.
time
Here's a
period
tip to
was-
you countries: don't have a civil war while you're already fighting a war.
The
It's
20th
not going to end
the
well.
tw-
the early
Yeah.
20th century for
Maybe
Russia
Yeah,
was
wait,
like.
wait a little bit.
Do you guys know like the Northeast Megalopolis, where it's just like it's a never-ending city?
the first 20
That's
years
what
were
the first 20.
terrible.
That's the first 40 years, 45 years of Russian. The 20th century for Russia was. It was just. It just flowed into each other. You start in Boston. You get into New York.
Next thing you
It's
know,
just an
you're in Kiev.
endless. You look at a map and it's just war. Like they pretty much. When weren't they in war?
Well, they do have a break from the 20s. Like after World War One, there is a slight break.
I think
And then
that's
the-
when
that's the
I
major,
know. No,
that's
I
the
think
major
that's
like Bolshevik development and
no.
the USSR.
That's when the
developed.
Civil
And
War was going
then
on.
The Nazis are
The
like,
Civil
we don't
War
like the
was
communists.
after
It
World
never
War One.
really stopped.
The Civil War was after.
And then
It was
Pussy
between.
Riot came
No, the
along.
Civil War was
surrendered in World War I.
1917.
It was when they
It was
Yeah,
going
but
on-
it went for a
on till,
while.
like 1920.
Yeah, it went for a little
Yeah,
bit.
it continued through.
I think they tried
the
to
end.
invade Poland a bunch.
There were
in, like,
two
the
armies.
30s.
You have the white and the red army. You have two different
Yeah.
armies. So they were like semi-fighting, and
God.
yeah, it's really hard.
And they went right
I'm
into
trying
World
to
War
learn
II.
it. I wrote
Did you
a
know
book
that you can
report
just
on it.
make states and then make it united of all the states, and then you're fine?
You know my favorite thing about
That's what
Russia
we did.
too is that they're.
They
I think
tried
they're.
it. The EU
One
was in
civil war.
I don't
That's
know
all
why
we
they.
need.
I don't know. We're talking a lot
What
of
is
shit about
so
something
when
that
it
we
comes to
south in
when
a
it
few
comes to
fucking
the
months.
strategy
have
of
not
throwing
researched.
bodies
Midterms are soon.
when it comes to
so.
the strategy of throwing bodies just forward,
Had a problem.
I think Russia's like 1 for 30, and
They're
they're
still
like
doing it today.
they're like exactly. Like, it's worked once for you guys. It has worked precisely
it's
I
not
once.
think so.
great.
I'm
So
sure.
what
I'm sure
makes
they're
you think it's gonna work
I'm sure
again?
they're inflating the Russian death numbers, but also like they got to be semi-true.
Well, every day on Reddit, I
Oh,
see another
yeah.
tank getting blown up.
Yeah,
It's like, all right. How about here's an idea. Tanks aren't working.
Yeah, America's
Lockheed
given up on the
Martin
tank.
knows that.
The U.S. military
They're not making
because
has
it-
given up on the tank.
Yeah.
We've moved past the
The
tank.
tank is.
I think
The
Putin
tank's a
doesn't
sitting
care
duck.
about the.
You know what
the-
this is?
these,
You know
like,
what, dude? You know what this
You gotta
low-key
get rid of
I
him
think-
somewhere. He can't
You know what
keep him
this low
forever.
key is? This is like the U.S. military just like showing like, hey, we have stuff that you
This
guys
is like the
don't.
Spanish
This
Civil
is
War.
fun.
that
I
you guys-
like it because it's
is
just like
just
the
looking
Spanish
back at it.
Civil
That's a really good analogy that it could be
yeah.
because we went over that in like history back in the day, but like. That
We're just figuring out what works and what doesn't
they
work.
checked they literally used it as like a game of risk, and unfortunately, the Ukraine is where the game's taken.
It turns out
You know who
$100
called
drone
it?
from
Larry
Best Buy.
David. Larry David called it in Seinfeld, the episode where they're playing Risk and they take it on the train. And he's like, the Ukraine's weak. And then the guy like smashes the game. He's like, the Ukraine's strong. Larry David called it. He knew what was happening. So I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but maybe
Well, I mean,
picked
they also
Ukraine early.
invaded someone in the 90s, too.
They
So
invaded,
were
Geo-
gonna-
They invaded Georgia in 2005.
You know who called that? Ghost Recon actually called that
Yeah,
because I remember
I played
playing that,
that,
and then
yeah.
all of a sudden they invaded, and then I like panicked as a kid. I'm like, in the game they invaded
Yeah, I remember that. I
Lithuania
thought
and
that was
Poland.
real. Like when Ghost
invaded
Recon was
Mexico
around,
after
I
that, by
always
the
thought we were on the brink of World War III. There's something
Tom
about
Clancy
that game.
always
Yeah.
threaded
It
the
just
line
gave
where
me
it
like
was
a little.
This might happen. I don't know why you guys are making a video game out of it.
Yeah,
Pick something crazy like Russia or something,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, like. But it yeah.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 is getting closer and closer.
it
Or Modern
is.
Warfare 2.
Yeah, the last Modern Warfare, you had us breaking down like terrorist door in the UK, just shooting people, and if some of them were civilians,
Happened.
and you didn't have to sign the little thing. What was that? The original Modern Warfare.
You had to be
Where
like,
it was like,
but
hey,
I'm
do
gonna
you
be
know
honest with
you're
you?
gonna kill people in this
I'm
one?
gonna be honest with
And
you,
it's like, this one's
looking
like,
back
you're
at
killing
it,
people, dude.
You know, people who blame video games, looking back at it, maybe some kids, it didn't hit them as neurologically as well as others.
A lot of people play those games.
A lot of people played. A lot of people.
It's a numbers game.
of people played. No Russian. I'm gonna be honest with you. I played it more than once.
How to get the achievements? What are you gonna do?
You had to try the different difficulties.
It wasn't very difficult, to be fair.
Yep. But anyway, it's more
Take
the
the mic with you, Aaron.
I need to stand up. I might just stand up.
If you're going to stand up, take the mic
What
with
is
you.
happening?
It's
We can't
the
hear you.
swamp ass is fucking ridiculous right now. I'm doing an open mic set.
Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. Boom, boom, ba-dum. Boom, boom, boom,
Let me see if I have anything else.
You know what's another good subreddit you should go on?
Yeah.
Guys, if you guys want to do a little trolling on Reddit with your alt accounts, there's a subreddit.
I'm going to be Aaron right now. Ready?
Oh jeez.
Oh, you hear this?
You sound like Rick. You sound like Morty.
Sound like
Oh,
Hey,
jeez.
Hey,
real,
oh,
didn't
jeez.
you?
Oh, jeez.
You hear about this?
But I have fun with this sub. It's called Guess My Age. And it's
boy.
always people who just look. They don't look good. And they'll be like, guess my age. And I'll be like, 47. And they'll be like, I'm 24. And I'm like, oh. You posted yourself on Reddit. Reddit is that one website. You know what blows my mind about Reddit is when you find somebody who uses Reddit like Facebook, where they'll have their profile, like they'll have a picture of
they're just
themselves,
talking
they'll have
every
a
day.
bio, and it's just like you were. The whole point of Reddit is to be anonymous.
Yeah.
Like I don't
That
tell.
was half the fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I don't even tell you. Like when I want to talk about some funny Reddit trolling I did, I don't tell you like where it is. Like you keep it because I don't want you guys finding my
No, I
Reddit.
found yours. Don't worry. But
Oh, what is it called?
your username?
Yeah. How did you find it?
Because I know you.
I feel like you didn't.
I know your linguistics. Yes, I do. I'll find
I
it.
know you're.
Let's see it.
I have to actually sign in.
Wait,
to
so
my
did you
Reddit.
guess it, or are you scrolling through Reddit?
No, I just found you.
No,
I don't believe it.
You.
Did the username give it away?
No. I don't remember what the username is. I'll find it. Hold on. How do I find saved? I hate
Were you
these tabs
stalking?
on
Were you
Apple.
stalking me a little bit?
No, I was not stalking you.
I'm a little panicky. I might have to start a new one.
I haven't looked through your Reddit yet. I don't want to know what you're on Reddit.
Oh no.
I just hate the apps on fucking Apple, dude. They're so confusing. We're gonna find them. Don't worry.
I'm actually curious.
You were talking about Ireland. I'm like, this is Aaron.
What was the subreddit it was under?
It was on r/Boston.
Oh, it probably was me then.
We might want to call it soon. I think we are hitting near.
I think we should
hour
call
and
it.
a-
I think we
we're
should call
at
it.
an hour.
Okay.
Just about an hour.
Can you
Yeah, I'm
move
not
the
gonna
mic then?
dox you. Don't worry.
I think
Can you move the my mouse pad?
Yeah.
But as we wrap up, any other hot takes? Oh, dude, it was weird last night too. When we were doing the podcast outside at this one bar, and this guy walks up, and his name is Old City Matt. Go check him out. But we were shitting on Ohio, and then he comes out. He's like, "I'm actually from Ohio," and we're like, "What the fuck?"
Dude.
But also, like, he was trying to hype up Ohio. He's like, "Dude," he was saying that apparently around here, he says everything's closed on Sunday. I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude? Nothing's closed on Sunday anymore." I feel like.
This isn't the deep
closed
south.
earlier.
This isn't the deep south anymore.
No, but he's like, yeah, dude. Like, I'd rather a few weird abortion laws than like having stuff closed on Sunday and Monday.
I
I'm
know,
like,
I heard
what are you
that.
talking about?
That is a fucking take.
I was like, literally, like, what? I was like,
And then someone you were with, like, kind of was like, "Yep, that nice take, bro.
oh,
Totally,
that's the kid.
totally."
Dude,
a
that was the
dude
kid who
take
said
right
his
there.
mom's like,
That's
he's
a-
like, by the way, mom, my mom got indicted for stealing money from her for our old company. I'm like, that's great. I'm like, put that on my podcast. I'm like, I'm not cutting that out, dude. And you fucking putting it out there. But yeah.
You were
Anyway.
like, "Please use my." Podcast.
Yeah, I was like, please use my podcast in court. It will be great for the plug. But anyway, dude, Prokop, absolutely great. You set up. Is it still recording right now?
Audio, yeah.
It doesn't look like it is.
Yes, it is. Red light's on.
Okay, well, thank you for coming out here, setting all this up. Aaron and Joey and I took some golf
Is this
fucking
you?
stuff.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Hey, I was admitted to it.
Damn.
I definitely.
I could have caught the Unibomber with those
It
linguistic
was
skills.
definitely a very specific Irish comment, though. I've definitely said something about Ireland, Joey. That was like
What'd you
very.
say? What'd you say?
I don't
It
even.
was probably something. Don't find it. I don't want to embarrass myself right now.
Don't
I mean, that means
Don't find
there will never be another post on that subreddit ever again.
It's all right. I already got the name.
But there, but
I don't like.
no.
search
Listen.
through your
But
thing.
realistically,
Joey,
though,
we need you in the FBI.
no. But be honest, it probably wasn't that hard. You probably saw a comment. You're like, this is a little too specific.
r/Boston's not that big.
That's my
Yeah.
problem. Is I
For the amount of nerds
we're
in Boston.
creeping around a little too much.
Yeah.
Like
well,
guys are
too deep
in it.
There's
I've
gotta be
sent,
a lot
I've
of
sent my
nerds in
username
Boston.
like plenty of times, but mine's like I don't really have anything.
I used to be very political on it.
Word.
Like,
Well, you took a lot of them down. I've seen.
oh, am I not too political then? No, I'm talking like comments. I don't post
yeah,
ever.
No,
It's-
you only have 2 posts.
Yeah, one was like making fun of Boston, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. Mine, I have like 13 different Reddit
Some-
accounts.
Yeah,
and I
that's the
lost
thing.
all of
I
them.
have. I need to use different accounts on like the local
Well,
subs because I love
on
r/Boston.
Android. You have this app called Boost for
Yeah.
Reddit, and you can just switch profiles like bam, 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 bam.
Dude.
Just keep spamming people.
You can do that on the app you're using too.
Can you?
You just click
I'm
the
gonna have
name
to-
and then you just like.
Yeah, I'll have to
I have
figure it out.
2.
I'm not gonna. I have the cooped up one. I don't know where to get that.
The best thing about Reddit is they don't ask for anything. You just like scribble
can
on
just
your
make
phone
it.
and now you have an account.
You don't even
You
have
don't
to
even remember your
confirm it half the
password.
time.
You're just like, all right, I'm on. If I lose it, I lose it.
In Britain, that's illegal. No.
Really?
What?
You can't be anonymous online. They're trying to make it illegal.
They can't take the banter.
You can't.
They can't take their own witty banter. They can't take it.
I'm at a loss for words.
By the way, speaking of Ohio, should I ask that Ohio lady to come on the podcast?
Yeah, could we? Do you remember it was Joey's birthday. I won't say the name, but we were with somebody, and I was like, and then her friend was there, and I go, yeah, at least this isn't fucking Ohio. And then her friend turns around and goes, I'm from Cincinnati. And I was like,
I would have been like, I'm sorry. That was literally like when I saw someone at the wedding I just went to, and they're like, I'm from Alabama. And
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Or they're like, oh, I'm living in Alabama. And I go, oh, that's cool. Why?
yeah, why would you do that?
And
No, they moved there, right? That was
they like
They
lived there for work,
willingly left
but they were like
the Commonwealth.
But they were like, what? Have you ever been there? And I'm like, I have almost no interest. That's like one of the states I don't think I ever need to go to, unless you guys pay me enough money to come and visit.
I would go to Birmingham to like see the civil rights stuff, maybe.
Okay, Prokop.
Maybe to be like
And
the ultimate.
we're out.
I want to go to Selma.
I want to walk across the bridge.
That's
else?
the only reason I can see myself going.
How
You know
about
what
a
I
Roll
will
Tide
put my hand
Alabama
up and
football
admit?
game?
They have the best coastline. Mississippi and Alabama.
I don't like
the fucking
college
Gulf
football.
Coast on that area.
Really?
In Florida too, you know, like Destin, like that sand looks like it's like marble.
The BP gunk really adds
The BP gunk,
effect.
like it kind of scrubbed off
Kick
the
it
dirt.
aside.
As long as you don't dig up and dig your toes into the sand, you're normally good.
Before we finish off, can we do a prediction?
Of
By what month
Kosovo wins.
what month will the first big hurricane hit?
Ooh.
And where's it going to hit?
Late August.
Ooh.
Late August? Where?
South Carolina.
You're wrong.
Why am
I
Hold on,
like
I'm
the
gonna
la-
get in a zone.
I
for a
like late
second.
August.
Why are you saying
Texas is in the mix now. They could.
I'm giving Texas. I think Houston's going to get
You
fucking
think Houston?
smoked.
I'm still gonna go with
Or
Florida.
Galveston.
You say I thought you just meant like one of the first big ones. I didn't
No,
know
the big, like the
Oh,
big
oh,
one.
oh,
The big
then
one.
Yeah.
The big one.
No,
I feel like it
The
switches
thing is,
between.
if Florida is like so used to it at this
Yeah, it's
point,
not
like
fun.
it actually is the big one. But they're like, all right,
That's why
we're
Florida's cool
underwater
to me
anyway.
to an
It's
extent.
gonna be Mexico.
Oh,
well,
you think
we're not
like
gonna hear about that one.
I'm gonna go straight that way.
there's gonna be like fucking like 8,000 people
New
die.
York,
and they will-
it's the end of the
bad
world.
But you know that might be Texas.
There
Technically,
was
that might be
never a
Texas. It
hurricane
still
worse
might
than
be Gulf
Hurricane
Coast.
Sandy. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's the end of the world if New York gets hit
New
by a
Jersey's
hurricane.
boardwalk lost 3 or 4 bars.
4 planes.
That's a lot of
One
economic
of the
activity
nails,
just
someone stubbed
crumbles.
their toe.
All right, and that's a wrap, guys. Great episode.
Thanks for listening.